Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
Well, yesterday in Chicago it was a little bit cool on the 4th of July, but today, more summer-like here in the Windy City. Temperature in the mid to high 80s, and it's the second game of this three-game series here at Wrigley Field. The Reds and the Cubs on Fox Sports Ohio. And hi, everyone. Along with Chris Welsh and Jim Day, I'm Jim Kelch, and welcome on this Bow Tie Tuesday to Reds baseball. Well, the Reds lost here yesterday, and they have now lost 5 consecutive games against the Chicago Cub team. And Chris, it's time to put that behind them today, and maybe they can get that done with Brandon Finnegan on the mound.
Well, I've always said that the starting pitcher sets the pace for the ball game, and if you get a first few innings under your belt where you haven't been touched up a lot, you can give your offense a little bit of satisfaction and some confidence. Brandon Finnegan is coming off his worst start as a major leaguer. There's no doubt about that. 2 in the third inning, 8 runs against the Washington Nationals. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for Finnegan, so there's no way it's going to be as bad. But the one thing you always see about Finnegan, guy's a bulldog, and he's not going to give up. He'll be after it every pitch he throws in there.
Now, one of the problems you have to contend with if you're Finnegan is the fact that this Cubs team is pounding Reds pitching for the long ball.
Well, the Reds are making a lot of mistakes to these guys. I mean, they're throwing pitches up there. You can't do that. Whether it's a breaking ball or a fastball, you simply have to keep the ball down. And this is a good ball club up and down the lineup for the Cubs. They can take it deep all the way from the number 1 spot, even to the number 9 spot. We saw that with Jake Arrieta in Cincinnati. So just keep the ball down, go with your strength, change speeds, and pitch confidently.
Well, his mound opponent today for Chicago will be the veteran John Lackey, former Cardinal, signed a free agent contract with the Cubs this year. And for the most part, Chris, he's been pretty consistent this year.
Well, he is really consistent throughout his entire major league career. I think it's 13 times in 14 years he's been a double-digit winner. He's been really good against the Reds this year once and not so good another time. But, Lackey in the last 10 starts is extremely good. He's getting better and better, and he's not a guy that's going to wow you with any one pitch, but he comes right after you. He doesn't fool around. It's fastball, cutter, and get ready because here it comes from big 6'6" John Lackey.
Of course, one of the guys he'll have to contend with in the Reds lineup today is a hot-hitting Joey Votto.
Boy, he's getting better and better. And, he said about 3 weeks ago, he said, don't worry about me. At the end of the year, my numbers will be there. And the way that he's hitting the ball now, you should tend to believe him because he's squaring it up good. He was by far the best hitter in the Reds lineup yesterday. I mean, every time they get a ball out over the plate, it's a line drive or a home run somewhere. So Votto needs to keep that up because the Reds need to lean on him a little bit. That's why he's paid the big bucks after all. I mean, so get out there and continue hitting like that, and then maybe the rest of the team can kind of do a little support play.
All right, from Wrigley Field, Chicago here this afternoon. Middle game of this 3-game series, the Reds and the Cubs. When we come back, we'll take a look. Who may represent the Reds in the All-Star game next week in San Diego? Sports Ohio is brought to you by Chevy. Check out their award-winning lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good. It's Skyline time. Well, all right, today being Tuesday, July the 5th, that means 1 week from today, the Major League All-Star Game out at Petco Park in San Diego. And the question then, Chris, is who will represent the Reds? We have three that we'll take a look at.
Well, first of all, it will not be any write-in candidate, I can tell you that. I mean, or voted in by the fans candidate. It seems like the Cubs are dominating that. But there are three players that come to mind with the Reds, obviously. Zach Cozart, Jay Bruce, and Adam Duvall. So when you look at these guys individually, let's take a look at Zach Cozart. In my mind, Cozart is a guy who would be the MVP for the Reds so far at this point in the season. He got off to a tremendous start. His batting average is down to 267. It's still very good, better than his lifetime average. He's third on the team in home runs. He's got second in doubles. He just gets it going, and he seems to put the bat on the ball. That, of course, and he plays Gold Glove shortstop.
All right, number two on this list then would be the Reds right fielder, Jay Bruce.
You know, in his ninth year as a major leaguer, Jay Bruce is putting together the kind of year that we've been all waiting for, 9 years. I mean, with not a lot of peaks and valleys, with not a lot of slumps or real hot times, he just has been very consistent. Believe it or not, he's leading the National League in triples. He's got 60 runs batted in. That's fourth in the league, and he's got 42 extra base hits. By the way, 17 home runs. I like Jay Bruce's year. There's no doubt about it. But when you're talking about an all-star, I want to make sure that the all-star that you pick and represents the Reds will be there as a Red the rest of the year. There's no guarantee. In fact, it's all likelihood that Jay Bruce will not be a Red when September comes around. So that brings us to Adam Duvall. Duvall is having one heck of a year, really coming out of nowhere. Second in the league in home runs. He's fourth in the league in extra base hits. He's right up there in RBIs. I mean, he's a guy that everybody is talking about. The opposing team is talking about him. Scouts are talking about him. His own teammates. He carries himself like an all-star. So when it all comes finally said and done for me, I give the nod to Adam Duvall.
All right, well, you jumped the gun on me. I was going to say, who do you like, Cozart, Bruce, or Duvall? You say the left fielder, Duvall.
Well, I make a living out of being one step ahead of you, Jim.
All right, well, there you go. We'll see. The show to pick the All-Stars is tonight. So we'll see later on tonight who's going to represent the Reds in the All-Star game next Tuesday in San Diego. We'll step aside. When we come back, the power of instruction. The Reds have a new bullpen coach. Jim Day talks with Ted Power.
on Fox Sports Ohio. I'm Jim Day. My pleasure to welcome in Ted Power, who's now the bullpen coach with the Cincinnati Reds. I know it's circumstances not what you would want to come up here, but it is the business side of baseball. But when they ask you to do a job, you got to do a job. Been a long time for you coaching in the minor leagues. How does it feel to be up here with the big club?
A little strange, you know. I was just thinking about how many years it's been since I have been on a major league field, and I think it's around 22 or 23. But at least I'm coming to a place where I'm very familiar with who's here, and that from the coaching staff to the players to the clubhouse guys.
Right.
You know, it's pretty much the same family.
Well, you pitched in the major leagues, obviously, so you have big league experience in that regard. But spending that long in the minor leagues, it has to be really rewarding to get up here.
It is. And there's a lot of people, a lot of family and friends that are very happy about this.
Yeah.
I really could say that had I never made it back to the major leagues as a coach, I would have been happy with my life as a minor league coach, because assisting guys and trying to get over the hump or getting them here to this level to give them a chance is very rewarding. And that's what that was my attitude in Louisville.
You talked about being familiar with these pitchers. How rewarding has it been to see guys come through the system and tell them, hey, you're going to the big leagues, and you know a lot of these guys. How far are those relationships going to go for you?
I think they're going to keep going. They're going to continue to grow. There are guys out there on other teams that came through Louisville that are still pitching, and they stay in touch with me. So it's very satisfying. You know, I take a moment to be proud, but not too much.
I talk to pitchers when they come up here, and they, to a man, talk about the relationship they had with you. How good does that make you feel, the personal one-on-one relationships that you've had and you're looked upon so fondly by the players?
Well, I tell a lot of people the reason I can get along with these guys so well is because I have a 30-year-old son, or 29. So I've gone through it with him, and these guys are very similar to him, but I think it's just, I don't know, my style is I'm a hands-on guy, but I'm not a pushy guy.
Right.
I've been blessed with a lot of knowledge that I've learned from people that are a lot smarter than me and pitchers who are a lot better than me, and I can just throw it at these guys, and if they like it and if it works for them, if it makes them better, then great, but if it doesn't, then let's keep trying, let's keep looking, and something it's got to be out there that can help you get better as a pitcher, no matter if you've been in the big leagues for a year or you've been in the big leagues for 9 years.
Something I also heard over the years is when a pitcher is struggling up here and he's sent down, they say, well, Teddy will fix him. That's got to make you feel good.
It does, but it's a little stressful. Yeah. Sometimes I really have to search my brain, and a lot of times it's nothing to do with the way they throw the ball or the way they grip a baseball or any of that. It's just up here. It's just having confidence that they've got good enough stuff to compete. And to get them to compete sometimes is very difficult, but competing is the answer a lot to whether they have success or not.
It's a pretty broad question, but what is your philosophy? And there's not very many philosophies in pitching. It can be very simple, but what is your philosophy as a pitching coach?
Well, for me, it's watch the game. Watch the game, watch the opposing hitters, and attack their weaknesses with the best pitch that you have. Not necessarily the best pitch that Michael Lorenzen has, but best pitch you have to get this hitter out according to what you see in his swings and his approach to other pitchers. Well, watch the game.
It's great to see you up here, and congratulations, man. Long time coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's Ted Power. Stay with us. Coming up, it's the Reds and Cubs, Game 2 of a 3-game set here in the home of the Reds, Fox Sports Ohio.
Manual operated scoreboard here at Wrigley Field show the breeze blowing slightly in towards center as the Reds and the Cubs get together for what is the 12th time this year, second game in this series, after the Cubs were a winner yesterday on 4th of July, 10-4. Take a look at the Reds starting lineup for this, the 85th game of the year. Cozart at the top, then Billy Hamilton moves to the 2 spot today, followed by Joey Votto. In the middle is Bruce, Duvall, and Phillips. The bottom 3 include Eugenio Suarez, Ramon Cabrera catching Finnegan today, and Finnegan batting 9th doing the pitching. And on the mound, the veteran right-hander for the Cubs is John Lackey.
Well, when you say veteran, you're not kidding about that, Jim Kelch. He's 37 years old. He's been around his 14 years in the major leagues. In fact, when he was drafted in 1999, I think Brandon Finnegan was about 6 years old. So he's been around. He's been a consistent winner everywhere he has pitched. Originally drafted by the California Angels, the guy is always a double-digit winner, and here he is with the Cubs after spending the last year or so with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he's having a very typical John Lackey year where he keeps his team in just about every game that he starts.
Yeah, he's made 16 starts this year, 13 of them quality starts, but he did have a bump in the road 2 starts ago on the road at Miami when he gave up 7 runs in 4 1/3 innings.
It just goes to show you bad outings happen to everybody, even bad, ugly outings like the one that Brandon Finnegan had last time. But the thing about Lackey is that he'll give you a bad outing, and then he'll respond with 2 or 3 good ones in a row. We're hoping that Brandon Finnegan can get on that same track today. That's what you were talking about here against the Reds so far this year. 1 good one, 1 not so good one.
All right, Lackey ready to go. Cozart ready to go. First pitch of this game on the way, and Cozart hits it in the air towards shallow right. Zobrist gives way to Hayward. No collision there between Cubs outfielders, and Cozart makes the play, and that's how this game begins. Take a look at the defense by the Cubbies, brought to you by your Ford dealers. They line up to the Chicago Cubs like this. Contreras in left today. He and Bryant switch spots. Hayward in center, Zobrist in right. Bryant, Russell, Baez, Rizzo on the infield. Lackey and David Ross make up the battery. So Hayward cut right in front of Zobrist, and you can see a little bit better communication there than we saw yesterday between the left fielder at that time, Bryant, and the center fielder, Almora.
Well, Almora came over and thought he was going to call that ball. Bryant had a beat on it. That's going to happen from time to time. Happens much less, though, when you've got more veteran outfielders.
Billy Hamilton bats. The third baseman, Bryant, cheats in. Here's what we're talking about yesterday, that collision in the 5th inning between Bryant and Almora. He got a glove to the head. He got a knee to the leg, right near the knee area. The knee of Almora almost hit the knee of Bryant. That could have turned out really ugly.
It could have, but the thing about it is that the hierarchy of who has rights to the ball normally goes to the center fielder if he wants it. In the infield, the top dog is the shortstop. Everybody else peels off. So some will say Bryant should have peeled off even though he was camped underneath it.
Billy on a 3-1 pitch takes ball 4, and so the Reds have a first inning base runner. That's something the Reds would certainly like to see more of. Billy Hamilton drawing walks.
Well, Billy didn't get on yesterday, did he? He had a fielder's choice in the 8th inning is the only time he got on. He got one in the 4th inning. But the game was so far out of reach that the running game really wasn't part of the game plan for Brian Price once you're down 6 runs in the first 3.
Votto been swinging a good bat as of late. He fouls this ball away. Walk by Billy Hamilton, only the 15th he's received this year. His on-base percentage sitting at .286, and his stolen base numbers, while there are 19, and he is tied for 3rd in the league, we don't see him running nearly as much this year as we did the last 2 years. He's going here, but he'll need to retreat as Votto fouls it out of play.
I'm wondering, Jim, you say he's not running as much. Well, first of all, you got to get on base. Second of all, it has to be a situation where the running game makes some sense. And third, you have to have a combination of pitcher-catcher where it also makes some sense. So, if you're down by 5 or 6 runs early, you don't run because 1 run doesn't mean anything for you. The other part of it, when you're looking at the Cubs, David Ross, even though it's his last year in the major leagues, even though he's been around a long time, he is still one of the best throwers of all catchers in the National League. I mean, he simply shuts down the running game. So you're taking a chance with Ross behind the plate unless you get a real good jump on Lackey.
Rizzo holds over there, and Lackey will throw over. Now, he's a pretty good guy in terms of holding runners on and not allowing stolen bases, isn't he?
Well, he's a veteran. You know that he doesn't get flustered by having guys on. He'll change a lot of things. He'll hold the ball a long time, one pitch, and he'll hold it very little like on the next pitch. So last time he just got that ball and went right away after the obvious mandatory stop that a pitcher has to make before he delivers the ball to the plate.
Lackey this year 7-4 with a 3.27 ERA. His first year as a Cub after spending the last 2 seasons wearing the Cardinal uniform. There goes Hamilton, and he has got number 20. Beat that one by a pretty good margin with a head first slide, and Billy is in scoring position for Votto.
Billy seemed like he was getting a good jump each time that Votto fouled the ball off. This time a bounce shot there by David Ross. Even one on the money, he's not going to get him. He just had too big of a jump. So against Lackey, that is the 4th successful stolen base against 2 throw-em-outs.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah. When you're starting your 17th game and you've only given up 3 stolen bases, you've controlled the running game. And again, a lot of that is David Ross. You know, one thing to look for at Ross, David Ross is one of those few catchers that will wear a scouting report, little decoder bracelet for whatever you want to call it, on his left arm behind his glove, and he'll check that from time to time. We can watch him do that.
Back-to-back walks by Lackey here in the first inning. He loses Hamilton on a 3-1 pitch. He loses Votto on a 3-2 pitch. He only walks on an average 2.5 batters per game, and he's walked 2 here in the first inning.
Well, he's not really a ground ball pitcher either, but Jay Bruce, don't be too anxious right here. The pressure's on Lackey. He's going to throw you a pitch that may look good, and at the last second cut off for a ball.
That one scoots between the legs of Ross and goes back to the screen. And now Billy going to try to come home, and he will get there on a bad throw by Ross. And that sends Votto over to third. And boy, oh boy, that is pure aggressiveness by the speedy Billy Hamilton. A lack of paying attention by Lackey, who didn't come in because he thought, no way, the runner's going to try to score from second. But that's what Billy does.
Well, a lot of people in this ballpark, including David Ross and John Lackey, are seeing this for the very first time. A guy scoring from second base on a wild pitch, and not even close. So not only do the Reds get a run, but the Cubs get a little blemish of embarrassment.
It's a pass ball that allows Billy to go from second to the plate to score and send Votto to second, and then an E2 on Ross that sends Votto over to third. You could see Billy on that play. His head was up the whole way.
I mean, it's all Billy Hamilton. It's not the third base coach. It's all about Billy using Billy's tools. And, man, that's exciting baseball. I love that stuff.
And now 3 consecutive walks by Lackey here in the first inning as he walks Bruce on 4. He might be a little flustered out there right now.
Well, he might be, but I think the other part of it is that he just doesn't like to give in. He's a lot like some of the other guys on this pitching staff, like Arrieta and John Lester. They'd rather walk a batter than give a hitter a ball right down Broadway and make it a 2 or 3 run home run.
4 walks against Philadelphia at the end of May is the most Lackey has walked in a game this year. Now here he's walked 3 in the first inning, and he gets a little bit of a Bronx cheer for throwing a strike to Duvall.
That'd be a South Side cheer around here.
Around here, right. Reds yesterday were 0 for 3. Not many chances with runners in scoring position. There's a team at 275, and Duvall, one of the better ones on the team in this department, hitting .323.
See how much more aggressive he's been with Duvall than against Jay Bruce?
First and third, one out, a run in. Saw the numbers for Duvall in the year: 22 home runs, 59 runs batted in, and on the open, you said this is your guy, this is your pick for the All-Star team.
I think it would mean the most to the ball club, the organization, and of course, I don't think that anybody would appreciate it any more than Adam Duvall, coming really from nowhere to having the kind of season that he's put together.
He takes strike three. Well, Lackey puts himself in the position to get through this inning despite 3 walks with only 1 run against him.
Looks like he dropped down a little bit that time, Lackey did, to get a little comeback action, trying to feather it right over the outside corner, just about a perfect spot.
So runners at the corners with 2 out now for Brandon Phillips. Brandon at .249 with 6 home runs, 30 runs batted in, hitless yesterday, 0 for 3, and then left the game as part of a double switch. He almost gets one there that gives the Reds maybe 1 more, maybe 2 more.
Boy, did that look like it was a fair ball, at least from where we're sitting up here.
Chris Conroy, the third base umpire. Here's another look.
It's going to be hard to tell from this angle, although I wouldn't mind having seats right there.
Remember, if any part of the ball goes over any part of the base, it's a fair ball.
Correct.
And a strike.
Well, he certainly looks different, Lackey, against right-handed hitters than he does against the top 3 lefties in the lineup, or make it the 2, 3, and 4, Hamilton, Votto, and Bruce.
Well, on the year, righty's hitting only .208 against John Lackey. Reds get out early in this game with a 1-0 lead. A walk, stolen base by Billy Hamilton. A pass ball against Ross, which saw Hamilton come from second all the way to the plate. Ross didn't go after the ball hard. Lackey didn't even come in from the mound, thinking surely nobody was going to try to score from second. But Billy did. Reds trying to break this, as we talked about earlier, a 5-game losing streak to Chicago. They've lost 13 of the last 14 games they've played against the Cubs. Trying to get it to stop right here today. Bruce moving, and a base hit to left. Phillips will drive in his 31st. Bruce turns the corner and gets to third, but not in time. Good throw from the left fielder Contreras to Bryant. They nail Jay Bruce trying to go first to third on that hit to left. The run does score. Billy scored the first run. The second run scored by Joey Votto. The inning comes to an end. Pass ball, an error, and a base hit by Brandon Phillips. And so Brandon Finnegan goes to the mound with a 2-run advantage as he works for the 3rd time this year against Chicago and the 2nd time here at Wrigley Field. Here's a lineup he will face. Zobrist out of the lineup yesterday, back into today and playing right. Then Bryant, then Rizzo. Wilson Contreras, the cleanup hitter. Addison Russell, Jason Hayward, and the bottom 3 include David Ross. The pitcher 8th, John Lackey. Javier Baez batting 9th. Here's Brandon Finnegan, 3-7 on the year.
He throws about 70% fastballs, Finnegan does. He splits them evenly between a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. His next favorite pitch is a slider, then a changeup. Pitching from the far third base side of the rubber.
Hard hit by Zobrist, but handled by Cozart. And a good start for Finnegan and the Reds. Take a look at the Reds' defensive setup, brought to you by your Ford dealers. Reds line up like this. A traditional lineup today. Duvall, Hamilton, Bruce across the outfield. Suarez, Cozart, Phillips, Votto infield. Finnegan and Cabrera make up your battery. For Finnegan, start number 18. He's the only Red starter who's not missed a start this year. ERA 4.48.
You know, you may see a lot of early count swinging on the part of the Cubs today because Finnegan, he's not afraid. He likes to come right after you with a fastball early in the count, and if they know that's coming, they're going to be hacking. That's an important pitch for him, too, that changeup. In fact, if you rate all of Finnegan's pitches out there, you'll find that the changeup, he actually throws more for strikes than any other pitch. Almost a 31% strike pitch for Finnegan. So that's really something for a young left-handed pitcher to have that pitch in his pocket able to throw over the plate. Very important.
Speaking of, a nice change up there. He gets the strike out of Bryant.
Or slider had the same effect, really, because it comes in about the same miles per hour off the fastball. This one has a downward break, kind of breaks down and into a right-hander. That's your telltale slider, and he gets a strikeout, a good one and a big one anytime you get Chris Bryant out.
You know, Finnegan has, when you look at his numbers, he has good numbers in a lot of areas. Less hits than innings pitched, decent strikeout number, but the one number that could change everything for him is his walks per 9.
Well, yeah, I think that's the product of being a young left-hander.
Foul ball headed back this way by Rizzo as Finnegan looks to have a 1-2-3 first inning. He walks 4.6 batters per 9. There's his strikeout to walk ratio, lowest in the National League. He's walked 49. He struck out 69. Opponents hitting only .239 against him. It's the command thing that has held him back so far this year. Rizzo with 20 home runs. He's driven in 61. 6 of those home runs coming against the Reds. We talked yesterday about the fact that Bryant and Rizzo together have 14 home runs against Reds pitching this year. Cubs have hit 27 home runs against Cincinnati pitching, 14 between the two of these guys. Bryant started at third base, is starting at third base today, was out in left field yesterday. Boy, one thing with Joe Maddon's team, I mean, you've got to be able to play a lot of different positions to be on his team. Other than Anthony Rizzo and the catchers, and even the catchers with Contreras, these guys move all around.
That may have got Ramon Cabrera. I don't know whether it was a check swing strike or whether it just got by the bat and got Cabrera on the body. Take another look.
Yeah, off the bat of Rizzo.
Well, you can see in this at bat that the Reds are pitching him tight. I mean, everybody pitches Rizzo tight. He is third in the National League in hit by pitches with 12 of them. Derek Dietrich of Miami and Danny Espinosa are the only two that are ahead of him. So, you know, he's expecting it. He gets right up on the plate, and the pitchers come right after him, and the catchers get in there right behind him.
Rizzo yesterday a hit, 1 for 4. And he strikes out here. So a good first inning. Good start for the left-hander Brandon Finnegan here this afternoon. A spectacular ticket offer for you to catch a Reds game right after the All-Star break. View level tickets are just $10 for July 15 and 16 games against the Brewers, and that includes a Get Your Stash On hat. Go to Reds.com/FSOHIO and use the code FSOHIO to get your tickets right now. Offers only good until the end of the post-game show today. Suarez to get it started here in the top of the second. Reds up 2-0. Hey, Eugenio at .233 with 15 home runs. He's driven in 40. After watching his 7-game hitting streak come to an end on Sunday in Washington, he had a hit yesterday, drove in a run. He was 1 out of 4. Here's that home run he hit in yesterday's game. It came as back-to-back home runs. Cozart and Suarez in the 7th inning. Into the seats it went. It was number 15 for him. Hits this ball hard and gets it up the middle. So Suarez gets the second Reds hit. He now has a hit in 9 of his last 10 games. It's good to see him start to swing a better bat.
Well, it's only 84 degrees here today, but it feels like about 90. And the Reds have really put Lackey already through a little bit of the ringer there. 26-pitch first inning. You get the first hitter in this inning on base. And you make the big guy work. Maybe you get into the bullpen a little bit earlier than the Reds have been able to do. Although they did get into the bullpen in the 6th inning yesterday, but by that time the game pretty much out of reach.
Switch hitting catcher now, Ramon Cabrera bats for Cincinnati. Guy's done a decent job hitting. .254. He has a hit in 13 of his last 15 starts, making his 17th start overall this year. Shallow left center. Who's going to call for this? This will be the left fielder Contreras. He retires Cabrera for out number 1.
We saw Contreras catching yesterday, playing left field today. You know, you talked about the need for a player on a Joe Madden team to be able to play more than one position. It's a great point, Jim. But, you know, what you also have with that philosophy is never a point in time in which a kid comes up out of the minor leagues and says, well, he's a good player, but there's no position for him because we already have a veteran, you know, safe. Nope.
It was close down there. Good stretch by the shortstop, Russell, and out at second base is Suarez. Rizzo, the left-hander, really is what made that play.
Yeah, he did. Well, he's playing very aggressive. Look at him charging right here. I mean, he's expecting to field this ball, and he knows ahead of time where he's going to throw it. I mean, he looks a little bit like Keith Hernandez when he comes in and plays that aggressively, and you just don't really want to bunt into a trap, and that's what essentially the Cubs laid for Brandon Finnegan.
Russell did a good job of stretching to his right, keep his foot on the base to get the force out on Eugenio Suarez, and so now Cozart bats with 2 men gone.
One more comment about the Joe Madden use of his players all over the place. They all seem like they want to be super utility players. Well, it gives you so many different options as you go late in ball games and extra inning games to know that you can put a player at a certain position that he's been in before. You know, and he has even put in, you know, pitchers in to play the outfield because he recognizes that guys like Travis Wood are just darn good athletes that can probably play out there. So it's just an interesting, refreshing way to manage, and I think he's worth watching for that reason.
That's a good point, and 2 good words, interesting and refreshing, because it really is when you watch his teams play. It appears as if it's an all for one for all kind of camaraderie with this club. They don't care where they play as long as the team wins.
It's a completely different look to this club since Madden has taken over.
Yeah, you're right. Cozart out to center field on a fly ball his first time. Hits this ball hard, puts a pretty good charge into it, into left center, and that ball is gone into the bleachers, out in left field for Zach Cozart. He homers for the 2nd consecutive day. In fact, he hits a 2-run homer for the 2nd consecutive day, number 13, and it is 4-0 Reds here in the 2nd.
I mean, he just gets another fastball, and boy, Cozart is just putting the good part of the bat on the ball so often this year. He's keeping his head still and plenty of power to get it out of here. Slight breeze blowing out today, but that needed no help.
It gives him now 37 runs batted in. Just what Brandon Finnegan would hope for. A little cushion of a lead with which to work. He'll go to the mound again in the bottom of the 2nd. Cozart's career high is 15 home runs. He did that in 2012, his rookie year. And now he's 14, so he's just 1 away from tying and 2 away from surpassing that. And based on the way he's driven in runs, he's at 37 now. He probably will surpass his career high in RBIs, which was 63 in 2013.
Well, he presents the Reds with a very good but difficult decision to make. You know, will he be part of the winning Reds team that they expect to put together in a year or 2? Or is he more valuable as a trading chip before you have to take him to arbitration, or at least until the point you have to pay him a lot of money? So, you know, it's a good problem to have for the Reds, but it's also a delicate decision that they will make.
Well, Cozart has 1 more year of arbitration eligibility. It's next season, and he would become a free agent in 2018. Most things you read about this club is that their 2 biggest trading chips right now are the man on deck, Jay Bruce, and the man who just hit the 2-run homer in Zach Cozart. Hamilton going on a pitch out. He still gets it. His 2nd stolen base of the day and his 21st of the year.
You know, I know that you want to throw out the runner, But when Hamilton is getting the kind of jump off of John Lackey that he's getting so far today, Lackey has not shown him a quick pickoff move to shorten up his lead. And look at that, he's inching off, and he's gotten, I don't know, 3-4 steps before David Ross even gets the baseball. So Lackey really ought to just go ahead and adopt the Greg Maddux theory of go ahead and let him steal and not worry about getting the hitter.
Well, he had allowed, and you mentioned the number, 3 stolen bases coming into this game in 104 innings, and he's allowed 2 stolen bases in this game in an inning and 2/3.
This is where a guy like Hamilton, I mean, if you project forward, you have a really good club, and you're in the playoffs, and if they're always seemingly low-scoring, tight games because, you know, you're seeing only the best pitchers in the rotation, you know, you get Hamilton on, and he's a game changer. Not all that many players can say that they're game changers in playoff-type atmospheres where Hamilton can be that guy.
Votto walked, later scored his first time, and now he walks this time. So back-to-back walks to Joey Votto in this game, and now 4 walks equals a season worst for Lackey as Votto jogs down to first base with his 57th walk of the year.
I still think that once Hamilton stole second base, that was a pitch around by Lackey.
And he has another left-hander in Bruce coming up.
Yeah, he didn't go after Bruce at all the first time. This time he probably will be forced to do so because you don't want to load the bases. Reds just might be catching John Lackey on one of those days where it's just not quite as easy as it normally is.
Lackey's given up now 4 runs in this game and 4 hits, and look at the numbers that the Cubs have done before and after June the 20th. An ERA over 5 after having an ERA right around 2.6 prior to June the 20th. Yet they came into this game still with the best pitching number from an ERA standpoint in the big leagues at 3.11, but it was so astonishingly low before that even the tough time they're going through now keeps them at the top of the list. Broken bat toward Baez to retire the side. But 2 more on a 2-run homer by Zach Cozart, his second 2-run shot in 2 days, and his 13th of the year. And it's 4-0 Reds in the middle of the second. TV Premium, watch every out-of-market game live in HD and over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Good start for the Redlegs here this afternoon at Wrigley Field. They're up 4-0 in the middle of the second. Wilson Contreras leads things off. Hitting .309 in just over 2 weeks that he has been with this team. 5 home runs, a dozen runs batted in for Contreras. He was called up on the 17th of June from AAA Iowa. He was absolutely killing Pacific Coast League pitching down there, hitting .350 with 9 home runs. Russell next, then Hayward here in the bottom of the second. Finnegan set the side down in order in the first. Trying to keep it a 4-0 game here in the bottom of the second. In the air toward right center field. Bruce on the run, looks up, off the wall. Hamilton, good backup to get that ball back in. And it's a double for Wilson Contreras. And that's the first Cubs base runner of the game.
And I think when Wilson Contreras first came to the major leagues and Joe Madden sticks him in the #4 hole, a lot of raised eyebrows, but when the ball comes off his bat, boy, it sounds really good. And he attacks the fastball, drives it off the wall in right field. He's a little bit of a free swinger, but he makes a lot of contact with a guy that swings hard.
4th double for Contreras this year. And here now is the shortstop, Addison Russell. Russell, a big day here yesterday, a run producing first inning single and then a 2-run homer in the 6th inning that at the time made it 10-1 Chicago.
Pretty good looking slider right there from Brandon Finnegan. It looks like so far today he's had pretty good feel on that slider, good spot, and on that changeup that he's thrown just a couple of times in the first inning. Boy, you can see Addison Russell just opening up, looking for something on the inner part of the plate to lift and separate.
Well, 3 strikeouts now for Finnegan. And he deals with the left-handed hitting center fielder today, Jason Hayward. .235 for Hayward with 4 home runs. He's driven in 28. Tomahawks that ball past the Reds' first base dugout.
I've always thought that lefty on lefty, when you got a left-handed pitcher and left-handed batter up, that left-handed batter will become more of a high ball hitter than he normally is against right-handers. And I think the same goes through for Hayward. I know a lot of pitchers like to stay away from that down and end zone, the traditional wheelhouse spot for left-handed hitters, but I think you want to maybe keep the ball down on this guy.
Well, this has not certainly been the traditional year that Hayward has been having in his career, whether it been last year with the Cardinals or prior to that with the Atlanta Braves.
5 years with Atlanta. He was a .262 career hitter, .293 last year. The 60 runs batted in for St. Louis. I think he was a Gold Glove winner last year. This year comes into this game only .235. Tomahawks that one. Foul ground. Votto over. Will he have room? He will. He makes the catch. He had to get around a couple of obstacles over there. The home plate area of the bullpen, the tarpaulin roll, where the wall juts out, but he maneuvered it and made a nice play.
Even had to get around Jumbo Diaz. That may have been the biggest obstacle of all here. He goes out there and the Reds bullpen scatters. Well, this is a nice play. Really a testimony to some good concentration on the part of the Reds first baseman.
You notice what he did there. He went over, looked down to see where he was, and was able to relocate the baseball. That's not as simple a task as they make it look. Two out for David Ross. David now 39 years old, hitting .229 this year. 15th major league season for David Ross. Cubs his 7th major league organization in which he has spent time in the big leagues.
It's his lifetime batting average.
He comes into this game with a career average of .228.
All right, so he's right about that, but he's still dangerous. He's a guy that, boy, when he hits, when you put a fastball in his spot, he can hit it about as far as anybody. And that spot, of course, is where it is for a lot of hitters, about thigh high, inner third. Maybe inner third to outer third. I wouldn't be surprised, of course, when you have John Lackey batting behind you. It's all green light right here.
No walks yet for Finnegan. Trying to avoid his first one here. 3-1.
David Ross had his shin gear off. He was so certain that that was ball 4. And now he's going to put it back on. He'll be able to carry on that conversation with the home plate umpire Jerry Meals as we go forward. Actually, if I'm David Ross, I don't want to walk in this situation right here with 2 outs and you got the pitcher coming up next. You really ought to want to swing the bat right here and drive a run in if you can.
Somebody from the Cubs dugout is hollering out at the home plate umpire Jerry Meals. And now Jerry has thrown, I would presume, Joe Maddon out of the game. Here comes the Cubs manager. And the two of them will go at it right behind the right-handed hitter's batter's box. We saw it on pitch tracks, and it did look to be a little bit low. It also looked as if David Ross was a little bit confused as to what the call had been. Then somebody started chirping from the dugout, and Maddon is the guy that's been tossed out of the game. You know, because of the review situation, the challenge opportunities for teams this year, you don't get to see much of this anymore.
I think it's a lost art, but it certainly isn't lost on Joe Maddon. Now, I think it's that Ron Culpa that came in from second base to kind of act as an interference right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it sure is. He'll walk Joe Maddon away from the home plate area.
That was a quick thumb, I gotta say. I mean, I don't know whether it's been going on for a while. I mean, in the dugout, it didn't look like there were all that many controversial strike ball calls, but Maddon is going to watch the rest of this game from his brand new office in that very luxurious Cubs home clubhouse.
You've not been in there, have you?
Yes.
This was before Joe was ejected. Now he's been tossed, and now he'll come out and let Jerry Meals know what he thought of that pitch. So the manager of the Cubs back to the clubhouse as now David Ross takes ball 4.
I think Finnegan did that on purpose.
Well, the long-time bench coach for Joe Madden, both in Tampa Bay and the 2 years he's been here, is David Martinez. He's a former Cubs player. He'll take over the running of this game. There's David. He's interviewed a lot for major league managerial jobs.
Yeah, he should be.
Lackey towards second base. Phillips, Cozart. They get the force out on Ross, putting an end to the bottom of the second inning. After 2, 4-0 Cincinnati.
Wrigley. And as Chris and Jim talked about in the open of the game, tonight's the big night where the All-Star game, the All-Star team and starters will be announced tonight. And Adam Duvall is certainly one of the candidates and might be the leading candidate for Cincinnati. Every team has to have one representative, and barring anything unforeseen, Adam Duvall is going to be that guy. He's the focus of our IGS, bringing the energy as Duvall steps in to lead off this half inning. Reds with at least 22 home runs, 20 doubles, 58 runs batted in before the All-Star break since 1933. Look at the list he joins. Gus Bell, Johnny Bench, and now Adam Duvall here in 2016. He's not only been the surprise of the Reds, but one of the biggest surprises in all of baseball.
He leads off here and rolls it to the shortstop and is thrown out. But yeah, Adam Duvall would be a great choice. I think a lot of people would be thrilled with that. I mean, we talked about him yesterday, a guy that came into spring training, not even sure he's going to make this team. Finally given an opportunity to play on an everyday basis, and he has made the most of it. Wouldn't it be a thrill for him?
One thing about Adam going forward, though, he's one of the league leaders in the least number of pitches seen per plate appearance. The only guy in the ball club who sees fewer pitches than Zach Cozart. Zach seems to be hacking about everything. And I think as you go forward, the pitchers are going to begin to adjust to Duvall in that way, throw him maybe more breaking balls and fewer fastballs. I mean, the first half of your first full season, the league gets to know you a little bit. In the second half, that's when they begin to adjust.
Phillips an RBI single back in the first inning, producing his 31st run batted in. Only his second RBI on this road trip. He was moved down from the number 3 spot where he had been a long time to the 6th spot for the Reds. This is his 3rd consecutive game there. He's out 3 unassisted. And now Lackey will face Suarez, trying to face the Reds and put them down in order for the first time in this game here in the 3rd. Suarez hit now means he's hit 9 of his last 10 games. Glad to see that batting average going the other way, Eugenio Suarez. He had a very good month of April. He got off to a hot start. Was hitting 270 the end of April, but really tailed off in May. Hit only 173, and remember, that's when he was striking out at an incredible rate. He fanned 37 times in 98 at bats in May. I mean, that's more than one every 3 times up. Rebounded better in June, where he hit 253, and off to a good start here. Now Ross talks with Jerry Meals about that call that made it 3-1 to Eugenio Suarez. Meals is the crew chief of this umpiring foursome. Lackey off the back of the mound. We've got some frustration going on with this Cubs battery. Or so it seems. Ball 4. So 3 walks in the first, a walk in the second, now a walk in the third, mean 5 walks and a season high for free passes issued by John Lackey here today. Cabrera gets a chance to bat with a runner aboard. Reds scored 2 in the first. Hamilton scored from second on a pass ball by Ross. Phillips drove in a run. Reds get 2 more in the second. The 2-run homer by Cozart. And now this ball by Cabrera cracked into the right field corner. Chased down by Zobrist. Suarez to third. He's being waved around. There'll be no throw to the plate as the ball pops out of the glove of Baez. Over to third goes Cabrera. Reds have added another run, and it is now 5-0 in favor of Cincinnati. Ball gets away, but time had been called, according to Jerry Meals, the home plate umpire. Cabrera heads up. He was ready to head down the line toward the dish.
Cabrera hits this ball extremely hard. I mean, inside the right field line down there, you know he's getting extra bases. The only question is, will Suarez get around fast enough to be able to score? Zobrist, for some reason, looks like he delays a little bit down there in the corner. The ball pops out of the hand of Baez. So I don't think you're going to get Suarez anyway, even on a good relay throw. And that error, if they do give him one at second base, is going to just allow Cabrera to go to third. So a 2-out walk, usually very harmless, unless it's followed by a 2-out double.
Yeah, they do credit Cabrera with a double and an E4 on Baez, allowing Cabrera to go from second to third. So 2 errors in this game by Chicago. A 5-0 Reds lead. All this coming with the first 2 having been retired. Finnegan does have a pair of RBIs this year as he stands in there. Strikes out this time. But further damage done by Cincinnati. They get a run on a double by Cabrera.
Wrigley's. Yesterday, the Reds finalized a big international signing in 22-year-old shortstop that they added to the mix yesterday, and he is indeed Alfredo Rodriguez. It is our Elk and Elk storylines for today. Ranked number 6 on MLB.com's top 30 international players is the 2014-2015 National Rookie of the Year in Cuba. He signed him to a minor league deal. He will start his career in the Dominican Summer League, and he is a candidate to perhaps play in the Arizona Fall League. As many young shortstops, right now rated as a better glove than a hitter, but the Reds have seen enough of this guy to think that he is not only an everyday fielding shortstop, but can be an everyday major league shortstop as well. So Alfredo Rodriguez is now in the Reds system.
Thank you, Jimmy. And you saw the jersey he was wearing there, Chris, was he signed that contract, number 11.
Well, don't get used to wearing that one.
You know, he said he wore the jersey because he is a real huge fan, a big fan of Larkin, wanted to wear the jersey, and that's why he had it on. How about that?
Well, there are worse guys you can model yourself after than Barry Larkin, that is for certain. But the Reds have done such a good job with their scouting of Cuban players. Obviously, you go back to Aroldis Chapman, Raisel Iglesias. Those two, I think they hit home runs with both of those, and hope that Rodriguez is the same way. I'm excited about seeing this young man in spring training next year.
And there was immediately, of course, the naysayers that said, why is he starting in the Dominican Summer League? And the answer to that is, well, he really hasn't played much baseball lately, so they want to get him reacclimated. And as Jim said, hopefully he'll play in the Fall League. And there's the two that you've talked about with Chapman and Iglesias. Both have had success here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, the other part of it is, you know, let's get him used to playing professional baseball. You know, they're speaking his native language in the Dominican Republic. If you send him over here, and he may be right now ready to, you know, drop on the roster at Dayton and hold his own on the baseball field, but there's so many other factors that surround Cuban players that sign. You bring them to America for the very first time. I think the Reds are doing the right thing by, you know, easing him into it, and then let's see where he is next spring.
Finnegan through the first 2 innings. 1 hit allowed, 1 walk issued, and the owner of a 5-0 lead as he works here in the bottom of the 3rd. For the second baseman of the Cubs, Javier Baez. Cracks this one pretty good to left field, and this will get the Cubs on the board. For Baez, number 9. For the Cubs against the Reds this year, that is home run number 28. 5-1 game.
It looked like Brandon Finnegan was trying to polish Baez off with the slider and just simply got it up. Kind of up around waist high, and Baez, who's hitting in the number 9 spot today. Boy, does that give you some power at the bottom of the lineup? I mean, that's more like what you see in an American League lineup than in a National League lineup with a pitcher hitting in the number 8 spot.
Well, he went from hitting 1 yesterday to 9 today. He gets his 9th home run of the year. So it's a 5-1 game. Cincinnati back to the top of the order. Ben Zobrist.
You know, at this stage in the game, you're up by 5 runs early. You know, a solo home run doesn't really do much to you. In fact, it can be a rally killer. But you've got to come right back and establish yourself with the next hitter. And now Finnegan has gone down 3 balls, no strikes.
Gets a strike in there.
Zobrist's first year of a 4-year deal that he signed here with the Cubs in the offseason.
Finnegan will field his position and retire Zobrist for the 2nd time here today.
That's a nice comeback right there for Finnegan.
Yeah, down 3-0. Gets a strike, gets the comeback. Now deals with Chris Bryant. Bryant came into this game .455 with 8 home runs, 20 RBIs against Reds pitching this year. Against Finnegan, 1 for 6 with a home run prior to the start of this game. You know, Finnegan has been involved in a couple of interesting games against the Cubs this year. His first start up here was on the 11th of April. That was the game, remember, that he went 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball until David Ross broke that up in the 7th inning with a single. His second start against the Cubs this year in Cincinnati some 10 days later on the 21st of April. Remember what happened that day? It was a 16-0 Cubs win, and Jake Arrieta threw a no-hitter. So both starts he's made against the Cubs this year, he flirted with a no-no. Arrieta did throw a no-no. Oh boy, that's another bomb by Bryant against the Reds. His 9th against Chicago, against Cincinnati this year. And it's 5-2. I mean, this guy doesn't hit any high, majestic shots, does he?
Well, no, he doesn't. I mean, the ball is hit here, and everybody in the ballpark hears it and knows it immediately. I think that was just a fastball that Cabrera reached for and never got a chance to catch.
2 home runs today, 5 in the series for Chicago. Major League leading 25th by Bryant, and now Finnegan up and in to Rizzo. Moves him off the dish.
Well, it may have the effect of moving Rizzo off the dish, but not intentional.
Rizzo, a strikeout victim, one of 3 for Finnegan so far today, his first time. And now he's ahead 3-0. Solo home runs by Baez and Bryant have made it a 5-2 game in favor of the Reds here in the bottom of the 3rd. That's a 4-pitch walk to Rizzo. Second of the game by Finnegan. Only 1 out in the inning. Wilson Contreras will come up. Mac Jenkins climbing the steps, the new pitching coach of the Reds. We'll head on out to the mound and talk with Brandon Finnegan.
Mac is going to have to figure out a way to pick up the pace just a little bit, because remember, the major league level, they start that clock. It's a 30-second clock as soon as you leave the dugout. And we're looking at it right now, and it has taken him about 12 seconds just to get to the mound. So 12 seconds out, 12 seconds in, that leaves 6 seconds for a message.
Here comes the home plate umpire, in fact, Jerry Meals. All right, so Mac Jenkins back to the Reds dugout. Contreras up there now. Addison Russell waiting on deck. 1 out in the inning. Contreras had a double to right center field off the wall his first time. Popped it up. Let's see if Otto has a play near the dugout. He does not. He made a very nice play in foul territory on a ball hit by Hayward last inning. Couldn't quite get to this ball. Note on the home run by Chris Bryant. We told you 9 against the Reds now this year. That ties him with Derek Lee back in 2005 for the most home runs by a Cub player against the Reds in a season. 05, Derek Lee had 9. Now this year, Bryant has 9, but with a lot of games to go between these two teams. After this series concludes tomorrow, there will still be 6 games remaining between the Cubs and the Reds. 3 here, 3 in Cincinnati.
You know, we haven't seen Brandon Finnegan throw all that many changeups recently. He looked like he was going to use that pitch more in the first inning based on how he was throwing it to Chris Bryant in that at bat. I said early on that changeup would be a very important pitch for Finnegan, especially against right-handed hitters today. He's only thrown it 4 times, so I think they've gotten away from it. Could be that he doesn't feel he's got confidence in it, doesn't want to hang it, and get hurt by it. At the same time, you have to be stubborn with your stuff. If it's not working in the first inning, keep throwing it until you get the feel of it, maybe a couple innings later. I'm not suggesting here on an 0-2 count it's a good call, but at some point against a hard swinging right-hander, it's a way to even it up a little bit.
That ball hit hard by Contreras, going to be run down by Billy Hamilton in right center field. Well, you're right. Balls off the bat of Contreras have a big sound to them.
It's the old scouting motto is that I don't need to watch a kid hit, I need to hear him hit. Because those players that seem to reach the top have a special sound of the ball coming off the bat. Motto is that way. Jay Bruce is that way. Adam Dunn was that way. Griffey obviously sounded like a cannon going off.
There's Addison Russell with a runner aboard, 2 out, 2 in here in the Cubs' third. Russell, a strikeout victim his first time.
With that swing right there, why would you pitch him anywhere but down and away?
He'd certainly come back with it right here again.
He's looking for something that he can yank.
Hammers this fastball that was over the plate toward left field. Home run. Three of them in this inning for the Cubs. Then a 4 spot, and they're right back in it at 5-4. The Reds pitchers combined have given up a ton of home runs this year. Reds starting pitchers since June the 1st, just ahead of the Cubs in that area. Finnegan has now been touched up for 3 home runs in this game. It marks the second time this year that has occurred. He gave up 3 home runs to Milwaukee in a game on the 7th of May. He's done it here in this inning. These are kind of the demoralizing innings for the team. You jump out, you get a 5-0 lead, things are going well, and then this kind of thing happens.
Well, the Cubs are not 9 games up in the National League Central because they give up just because they're 5 runs down. I mean, this is a team that knows that they've got a lot of firepower, and they're going to keep coming after you. You just can't let your guard down, and you can't make mistake pitches like, that fastball up to Addison Russell. I mean, there's a way that you can pitch to Russell and get him out, but if all you're doing is firing it up there, hoping a little movement's going to help you, you can't throw and waste time. And I think this is the lesson that you learn at the major leagues. If you're Cody Reed, if you're Brandon Finnegan, if you're Michael Lorenzen, insert any young pitcher's name, and you got to go through it a little bit before you figure out there's got to be a better way, and you find out what that way is.
Michael Lorenzen moving around down in the Reds bullpen.
And really my suggestion for Finnegan, and the same thing for Cody Reed, is just back off a little bit. Learn to pitch at 90% where you can locate the ball better, and then if you need a little extra, you've got it in the tank. But both of these guys are just full effort, 100% grunt, groan on every pitch, and eventually they're going to figure out if there's a better way.
So Lorenzen will begin to loosen out in the Reds bullpen under the watchful eye for the first time of the former Red Ted Power. Now the bullpen coach with Cincinnati after 11 years. This was his 11th year as the pitching coach in Louisville. There he is wearing number 56.
I remember when we first hired Teddy Power before he was in professional baseball as our lead pitching instructor at Champions Baseball Academy. Boy, he affected the lives of some young men doing there.
In the air toward left center field, Duvall. He makes the play. Ross retired, and the inning comes to an end. But the Cubs put up 4. 3 home runs. Lead down to 1. How about these two, Jake Arrieta, John Lackey, Cubs strikeout leaders. Lackey now with 109, including the 2 that he has today, and 107 2/3 innings. Jake Arrieta, the team leader, and really, when you look at John Lackey, he's 37 years old. He is right amongst many of the top performers in active players. There he is with starts, he's 3rd, wins, he's 3rd, innings 3rd. Ranks among active players in his career. From a win standpoint, he trails Bartolo Colon and CC Sabathia. From a starting standpoint, Colon, Sabathia, Kyle Loesch, and then Lackey. Loesch not pitching this year. He should. potentially surpass him in the third on the active list once this season comes to a close. Today, the 404th start of the career of John Lackey. Cozart, a 2-run homer his last time up. That came in the second. Was his 13th. Lackey so far has walked 5, struck out 2. 7 is his career high in terms of walks in the game. The last time he walked this many was last year in mid-May against the Cardinals, his old team. Cozart hits this ball hard toward left, over the head of the left fielder Contreras and off the wall. Zach hustling into second, and he gets there with a leadoff double here in the top of inning number 4 for Cozart, his team leading 22nd double of the year.
But does Cozart just continue to impress? I mean, he just missed a fastball on the last pitch. That's why Lackey goes with a curveball right there, and it's almost like he knows what's coming. I don't know what has gotten into Zach Cozart this year, or maybe this is what we were going to see from Zach last year had he been able to stay healthy.
That bunt by Hamilton will go down as a sacrifice. It moves Cozart over to third base. The Reds look to increase their lead again, which once was 5-0, is now 5-4. Now the first chance to get him home goes to Joey Votto. Votto has walked twice today. Well, you're talking about Cozart. He went into the game Saturday in Washington, 1 for his last 29, so had really gone through a major valley. Went 3 for 5 in that game, 1 for 3 on Sunday, 2 for 5 yesterday, 2 for 3 here today, so his average creeping back the other way now.
And of course, Votto's is creeping up more dramatically, it seems like, every day.
In the air toward left center. Hayward will make the catch. Cozart will tag and score. So the Reds get one of the 4 back that they gave up in the bottom of the third on a sacrifice fly by Votto. His 41st run batted in. The Reds lead back to a pair. So 6-4 Cincinnati now. Base is clear for Bruce. So you get one player, Cozart, who hadn't been hitting well. Bruce had been hitting well. You get Cozart straightened out. Now you look at Bruce lately. Jay came into this game 3 for his last 22. He's 0 for 1 today. So now you got him going down a little bit for the first time really this season. Going through a little bit of a drought. That's going to stay fair to Rizzo to retire the side. But the Reds get a run, a double by Cozart, brought home on the Votto sacrifice fly. events are back-to-back. The T-Mobile Home Run Derby comes up on ESPN. That's on Monday night, July the 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And the very next night, don't miss baseball's biggest stars at the 87th All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. That's on Tuesday, July the 12th. And that airs on Fox with coverage beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Boy, last year at this time, we were getting ready to host the Major League All-Star Game at Great American Ballpark.
What a fun summer event that was in Cincinnati. I mean, there were just so many things going on, so many parties. The weather was great. The home run contest was just off the charts. I'll tell you, it was just really a lot of fun.
You know, in the last week, they've been promoting this year's Home Run Derby, and so you're seeing a lot of the highlights from last year, including the dramatic finish when Todd Frazier won it at the end. And yeah, you're right, it was some sort of weekend. This year, out in San Diego. In fact, the Padres' first home game after the break will be against no, I shouldn't say that. It'll be their first homestand. Second series after the break will be against the Red Letters.
Boy, Jerry Meals is getting his ears just worn out today by the Cubs. Now, John Lackey does not think that's strike three. He gets rung up. He's going to stand there and say a few things to Meals and walk backwards and stop and say a few more. And eventually, Javier Baez came in there and kind of pushed him towards the dugout. It's hot, it's humid. See a lot of the fans in the stands kind of trying to cool themselves off, waving the programs. It's steamy a little there behind home plate, too. Jerry Meals has nowhere to hide.
Finnegan trying to bounce back after a 4-run, 3-home run, third inning. Gets the leadoff man. Now Baez, who took him deep to start the third. Talked about this guy. He does absolutely not get cheated up there.
He just lets it rip. I mean, he's a better hitter now, obviously, when he first came up. He used to step really in the bucket and only be able to hit anything from the middle end. Now he's got pretty good plate coverage. But if you go down and away with him, make him make the adjustment, that's a spot to get him. Finnegan's going to come inside there and try to move him off the plate a little bit. And that's not a bad pitch. But it's not a pitch that you're probably going to get much of a strike for, because Finnegan does not have enough comeback action on that two-seam fastball to throw it inside to a righty and get that pitch. That's a spot right there. He's got a lot of action. When he throws that two-seamer low and away, arm side is what scouts will say. He's got a lot of natural action, tailing action, sinking action. I mean, why wouldn't you live right down there? That's what John Lester does. He thought he got hit.
Then he draws the walk. 4 of them now by Finnegan here this afternoon. The tying run and Ben Zobrist will come to the plate. Zobrist has grounded out twice so far today, in the first and again in the third.
Zobrist, when he signed a 4-year contract here, he thought he was coming home. I mean, after all, he's from Eureka, Illinois, which is, what only you would know, only about 140 miles or so south of here.
From here, it's right outside Peoria. Yeah. Home of Eureka College.
Well, Cabrera got the worst of that one. The second time he's gotten one right off the body. Zobrist was a high school player. He was not recruited at all. I mean, not by the pros, no way, and hardly by any colleges. In fact, he went to essentially a showcase and got offered a deal at a very small school. Ended up going there, transferred eventually to Dallas Baptist, I think, college, and that's where he was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays. Two-time All-Star. He's been an outfielder for the most part, although he's nicknamed by Joe Madden Zorilla because he's a kind of a super sub, plays all over the place.
Yes, he's their version of Jose Oquendo. Used to be the secret weapon for the Cardinals back in the Whitey Herzog days.
I can tell you one thing about his hometown of Eureka. Way back in the early days of Eureka, it was called Walnut Grove, but they had to change the name in the mid-1800s because it was confusing people because there was another nearby town named Walnut Grove, so they named it Eureka, which is translated from the Greek. That means, I found it.
You are a fountain of information as always. When they changed the name to Eureka, that's when former President Ronald Reagan decided, okay, I'm going to go to school down there. I want to check this out. There's a big sign outside of town. Ronald Reagan went to college at Eureka College. Paying a lot of attention to Javier Baez, who is 5 for 6 in stolen bases this year. But it doesn't appear as if Votto thinks he is running, because when we watch Joey, he is generally 2 steps or so off first base in holding on the runner. Now he's on the bag. Now here he comes off. So when Finnegan throws over there, we've seen Votto a couple of steps away from first base. One time he stayed over near the bag. Huge lead by Baez over there. And now a full count. Cubs are not the runningest team. In fact, the 7 stolen bases by Hayward is tops on the team. There he goes on a 3-2 pitch. Bruce will handle this, and Baez has to retreat. So 2 out. Baez appeared to be doing to Finnegan what Hamilton does to a lot of pitchers, distracting their attention to the batter. Here's Bryant. Solo shot his last time, his 9th home run this year against Reds pitching. Bryant, the leader in the National League with 25 home runs. 64 runs batted in right now, 2nd in the league. behind Nolan Arenado's 66 with the Rockies, and certainly figures to be, because of voting, the starting third baseman in the National League All-Star lineup. Got under it. This should end the inning. Hamilton in, Hamilton there, and Billy makes the catch. Bryant retired, and so are the Cubs in the bottom of the fourth. Was brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. And by Cincinnati Children, ranking third in the country on U.S. News Best Children's Hospitals. Earlier today, down in the field, the Cubs honored a longtime Cubs fan, Helen Stark, celebrating birthday number 104 here at Wrigley Field. Born in 1912. Let's see, that means she was born 4 years after the Cubs won their last World Series back in 1908, when they dominated the Tigers that year, winning 4-1. So she, like everybody else, been waiting for another Cubs World Series title. Happy birthday, Helen. A lot of people around these parts now think that the Cubs can do it all this year, win the World Series. Of course, lost it in their last year. Won it in 08. They lost it in 1945. That's the last time they have been to the World Series. That was also against the Tigers. Duvall to get things started here in the fifth. Chris, as a youngster growing up, I knew you grew up in the Cincinnati area. That you went to games at Crosley and Riverfront, but did you ever venture up here on a little road trip to Wrigley?
I never did. The first time I got here was as a major leaguer when I stepped on the field as a member of the Padres back in 1981, and it's a special place. You know it the first time you take the field.
Popped up by Duvall on the infield, and the ball will be handled by Javier Baez for the first out here in inning number 5. Remember, tomorrow now, all new Reds Weekly comes your way with an all-star field. Who made it to the Midsummer Classic from the Reds. Plus, it's the most iconic moment in all-star history, and it changed 2 players' lives forever. That will be uncovered on Reds Weekly tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for all the action with Jeff Pecoro and Doug Flynn tomorrow night at 6, right here on your home of the Reds, Fox Sports Ohio. Reds Weekly, produced by our good friend Ron Melanor, a.k.a. Rufus. He does a great job of that show. Hey, we want to congratulate Doug Flynn today, by the way. He had a little surgery on his throat, but he came through, and with flying colors, he's doing much better today, and so we wish him a speedy recovery.
Well, you know, I know he's back feeling well, because even though he's not allowed to talk for a few days here, probably through the weekend, he is feisty. And he is up there posting stuff on Twitter, especially about the Reds making a third out at third. And Doug, I'm with you. I don't know how many more we're going to see of that, but Doug is all over it and watching the broadcast, and we're glad you're doing well.
Also throws out Phillips the second out. I know Olga, his wife, is very, very upset that Doug can't talk for 4 or 5 days.
Wonder if he's allowed to fish.
Well, does he talk to the fish? He probably does. He's a fish talker, like there's a horse whisperer.
Yeah.
And a tough year injury-wise, hasn't it, on Reds broadcasters? Doug and Tom and yours truly. Marty. Well, Marty's been all right this year, I guess. You're as healthy as a horse all the time. Nothing ever goes wrong with you.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Eat lots of kale.
That's the secret right there. To Lackey. And for the first time this afternoon, the Reds go in order here in the 5th. Another spectacular ticket offer for you to catch a Reds game right after the All-Star break. View-level tickets are just $10 for the games July 15th and 16th against the Milwaukee Brewers, and that includes a Get Your Stash On hat. You can go to Reds.com/FSOHIO and use the code FSOHIO to get your tickets now. Again, go to Reds.com/FSOHIO. Use the code FSOHIO to get your tickets. Offers only good until the end of today's pregame show. A postgame show, pardon me. Postgame show. Rizzo here in the 5th inning. Today a strikeout, a walk, a run scored. Part of that 4-run third. It's bounced back 4th inning by Finnegan, despite the walk to Baez. Now looking to become eligible to get a win if he can get through this 5th. Reds by a pair at 6-4. Jammed him nicely there. Votto to Finnegan. And the leadoff man out here in the 5th.
Finnegan had a pretty easy of a inning his last time in the 4th. But with Lackey going 1, 2, 3, boy, how wouldn't it be nice to see Finnegan have a really nice, relaxing inning?
Well, he had a 1-2-3 first. And a 5-batter second, was able to work around a double and a walk. A bad third. And a nice bounce back 4th. Earlier, back in that 4th inning, Michael Lorenzen had gotten up to throw, but once he was able to get the fly ball out off the bat of Ross, Lorenzen sat down. Cozart, nice backhand pick and throw, and he retires Wilson Contreras. 2 ground balls and 2 out, and he's 2/3 of the way there.
You know, he makes that look so easy, Cozart does, so fundamentally sound. When he goes to backhand this ball, look how low he gets his whole body. He just doesn't reach down with his glove, but he gets his whole body right down there, makes sure he has it, plants his right foot, puts a good throw on it.
I guess really, Chris, that's the one play going into spring training that there was a huge question mark, not only from people watching him, but him himself, because of the knee injury.
Yeah, until you do it and test it over and over again, you're always wondering if it's going to pop on you. The same way I think that pitchers who have had Tommy John surgery feel the same thing for a while until they finally are able to put it behind them.
So the first 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Addison Russell, a 2-run homer his last time. 3 today, 3 yesterday for the Cubs. Mentioned 30 now on the year. And a ball hit hard toward left center, and another one. Another home run for Addison Russell. 2 in the game, 11 on the year. And it's a 1-run game again. This is the most now home runs that Finnegan has given up in a game this year.
I mean, it's like home run derby every time these 2 teams get together. Unfortunately, it's the Cubs batting and the pitching done by the Reds. That ball actually low and away right there, but not really low. You know, that's not down around the knees. That's above the knees. When you talk about low versus high with a 2-seam fastball, you know, the matter of 3 or 4 inches makes a huge difference.
And now it's a 1-run game at 6-5.
Still hasn't used much in the way of that changeup.
Second career multi-home run game for Addison Russell. Nice sliding stop of that ball by Phillips, moving to his left. Hayward is out to retire the side, but it's a 1-run game again at 6-5 Reds after 5. By T-Mobile, a couple of interesting notes. Corey Seager, a 17-game hitting streak, longest in the National League this season. He'll try to extend that tonight at home against Baltimore. And 10-game winner Chris Tillman going against the Dodgers. And Jacoby Ellsbury had a major league record last night by drawing his 8th catcher's interference call of the season. He got a little plan going there. I don't think that just happens randomly 8 times.
I think the career leader is Pete Rose. He did something like 28 or so, 29 times, and Ellsbury catching up with him. You know, umpires are aware of that. And if it looks like you intentionally go back and do that, they're not going to give you the call. But if you just have a deep swing, it's just a memo to catchers. You got to stay back and don't reach for the baseball. Let it come to you.
Let's have Cabrera, Finnegan, Cozart here in the 6th inning. There is action in the bullpen now. Raisel Iglesias throwing, and Ivan DeJesus Jr. is in the on-deck circle, so Finnegan going to be finished after 5. Will leave the game as the pitcher of record on the winning side.
And Travis Wood is throwing for the Cubs. He's warming up like he's getting ready to come into the ball game. So, Lackey, who is 95 or 96 pitches now, is probably in his last inning. Big 6'6" right-hander from Abilene, Texas. Really didn't play much, didn't pitch much high school baseball at all. He was a quarterback on the football team, the center on the basketball team. Ended up going to Grayson County Community College, where they did finally put him in as a pitcher. He led their junior college to the World Series title. The Angels picked him 2nd round, 1999, and then made his major league debut with the Angels when he was 23. And as a rookie, 2002, he started and won Game 7 of the World Series in 2002.
Yeah, early in the game I said, well, maybe he's feeling the pressure after 3 walks in the 1st inning, and then I thought to what you just said. Game 7 of the World Series, he's on the mound in 2002, a deciding game. Game 6 of the World Series in 2013 for Boston, a deciding game. He's been through the ultimate pressure.
Interesting story. When he was traded to the Red Sox, he likes number 41, and he wanted number 41 to wear, but it was already being taken by another player named Pat Neshek. And when Neshek offered to give up his jersey, John Lackey went out and bought him an autographed baseball and said, as a way of saying thank you. But it was no ordinary autographed baseball. In fact, it was an autographed baseball by Babe Ruth.
Wow.
Roughly worth at that time about $20,000. It's probably gone up in price since then. So he gave that to Neshek, and Neshek in return allowed him to wear number 41.
For him, that was an even trade. DeJesus batting here for Finnegan, so the Reds will have a new pitcher, and that will be, of course, be the man in the bullpen down there now, Raisel Iglesias. DeJesus, out of a double switch yesterday, got in there, was 2 for 2. This time he strikes out, so back-to-back strikeouts for Lackey, who has now set down 8 in a row since the Cozart double started the 4th inning. Speaking of, Zach bats here with 2 men out. In case you weren't with us earlier, Joe Madden, manager of the Cubs, ejected from this game in the bottom of the 2nd inning, arguing balls and strikes with David Ross at the plate. David Martinez, their bench coach, now in charge of this club.
And I think Meals got the worst of this one right here. Ball looked like it went right by Ross. What happened to that?
Lackey over 100 now at 105 pitches. Tries to get Cozart. This is playable for Ross. And the veteran catcher handles it. So for the second straight inning, the Reds go in order. 9 in a row retired now by John Lackey. Every game, that's with Reds Live pregame here on Fox Sports Ohio. Reds Live pregame presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Now remember, no local telecast of the game tomorrow. And the Reds have an off day on Thursday here on Fox Sports Ohio. Back with you on Friday. Meanwhile, here's tomorrow's probables. Anthony DeSclafani, Adam Warren for the Cubs. The game will be heard on the Reds Radio Network, but again, not on Fox Ohio tomorrow. We'll be back with you after the day off Thursday on Friday from Miami. And the start of that 3-game series down there, which will start at 7:10. Here is, meanwhile, Raisel Iglesias on in relief of Brandon Finnegan.
Well, talking with one of the Reds coaches before the game, this is where the Reds wanted to get at this game. They wanted to have a lead later in the game, be able to use Iglesias, Cingrani, maybe even Lorenzen at the back end of the bullpen. Because you have to be careful how often you pitch him.
Ross a bunt, and he's going to beat that out. How about that? David Ross, a bunt single. The 39-year-old catcher laid down the best bunt of his life right there. And he gets a standing O from this huge crowd.
Well, a sneak attack, no doubt, because Suarez was playing him way deep. That is a hard bunt down there. And even a rush throw by Suarez, not enough to get David Ross, who is still boot scooting it down the line. He almost trips over the bag at first, but he puts himself on base. Smart play. You're down by 2. Or you're down by 1, and he represents the tying run.
So now Jeimer Candelario will pinch hit for John Lackey, meaning the Cubs starter is finished after 6.
Does Martinez bunt him here, or are they going for a bigger inning?
Suarez thinks he may be bunting. He moves in on the grass at third.
Nice crisp fastball there from Iglesias at 96. But 96 is only part of the story. The other part for Iglesias, it just has life. He gets it way out in front, gets great extension, comes off his fingers with some action.
For Iglesias, this is appearance number 5 since being activated. on the 20th of June, all out of the bullpen. He made 5 starts earlier prior to his long stint on the DL, almost 2 months. Last time out, 2 1/3 of shutout baseball in Washington on July the 1st. That was Friday night. In fact, 3 of his 4 appearances have been 2-inning outings since his return. That one skips away. Did it hit him? It hit Candelario in the foot. So an inauspicious start here for Iglesias in the 6th.
Dangerous place around home plate today. We've seen Cabrera hit twice. We've seen Jerry Meals hit once or twice. We've seen a couple of hit batters, and that ball hit the ground first and got him on the shin. In fact, they attended to Jerry Meals between innings. They put a little wrap around his left forearm where he was hit by the pitch that got away from David Ross. Now Candelario will go to first. There's a wrap that they put on Jerry Meals.
He had a pretty nasty looking welt.
You know, one interesting thing about Meals is that he's been here before in a big way. He was behind home plate, Jerry Meals was, back in 1998 when Kerry Wood tied the Major League record with 20 strikeouts in a game. He was the home plate umpire. And on the very first pitch of that game, he was struck on the mask by a Kerry Wood fastball. But he was not injured. He stayed in the game. And, of course, Kerry Wood struck out 20 Houston Astros as that game went on.
So he's glad he didn't miss that thing. Here's Baez, and he shows bad form in trying to bunt there. Missed it for strike 1. 6-5 Reds, bottom of the 6th. Dangerous doings here in the 6th inning for Chicago. 2 on and nobody out against Raisel Iglesias. Baez the 9-hitter, then Zobrist on deck representing the top of the order. Suarez in on the edge of the grass at third. Popped it up to the mound. Bad bunting form again by Baez.
Well, it's also a play, however, had Iglesias thought about it, he could have dropped that ball or just not fielded it, and it could have been an easy double play. Maybe, at the very least, a double play. And now, you cannot have an infield fly on a bunted ball. So if he just drops it, just lets it go, he can turn around and go to third, and then go to second, or he can go to third, and then go to first. And that's a double play to get you out of the inning. But
they would certainly have gotten 2, and I know what you're thinking. Maybe a triple play.
Well, you don't need one. I mean, that would have been.
That could have been.
It could have been definitely a triple play.
No, you did need one.
Yes, you did.
Zobrist turns around, bats from the left side. Duvall going to handle this fly ball. So Iglesias, after a bunt single and a hit batsman, now 2/3 of the way through this little mess here in the bottom of the 6th.
You know, every time Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Addison Russell, Hayward, Baez, these guys step to the plate here against a young Reds pitcher. These Reds pitchers have to understand that you're going to play these Cubs 18 times a year. So for the next decade, if you plan to be around for 10 years, Raisel Iglesias, get used to seeing Chris Bryant coming up here. And the Reds have to develop a game plan for each one of these Cubs hitters.
Bryant today 1 for 3 with a home run. Against Iglesias, lifetime 2 out of 8.
I actually like Iglesias coming inside on Bryant this at bat early and then getting him away, chasing something down and away.
Ball and a strike now to Chris Bryant. Iglesias came out the other day and said he really likes working out of the bullpen, and he feels now that that is the spot in which he would like to pitch. In fact, he said, I'd like ultimately to be the closer on this team. Here's a guy who was a reliever in Cuba. Came over here after not working for a year and a half or so. In the rotation last year, did a decent job for the Reds starting last season. Starter earlier this year. But now since he's gone to the bullpen, he really feels like he has found his niche. How about that? Nicely done by Raisel Iglesias. After the first two reach, the next three set down. Changeup. This is the first inning. A ball that got away from Ross. Hamilton to third. Hamilton to the plate. Hamilton is in there with a head-first slide. Scoring from second on a pass ball in inning number one. And then Zach Cozart. This is Cozart in the second inning, a two-run homer. Two-run homer for the second consecutive day. His 13th of the year. And the Cubs do what they've done best against Cincinnati. Baez a home run. Bryant a home run, his ninth against Cincinnati. Addison Russell, a two-run shot. Russell again, their second career multi-home run game. 4 homers today for Chicago after getting 3 yesterday. 7 in the series, but through 6, our Honda game summary tells us the Reds still lead by a run at 6-5 into inning number 7. New pitcher for Chicago is Travis Wood. Reds were able to get to him yesterday in an inning's worth of work. He worked the 7th, gave up 3, including the 2-run homer to Cozart, and the homer that followed by Suarez.
Hard to believe, really, that this is the 5th season in Chicago for Travis Wood. He pitched for the Reds for 2 years, where he was primarily a starter. In fact, when he came over here to the Cubs in 2012, he was a starter for the 3 years until Joe Madden got here. And then Madden said, well, you know, we don't have all that many left-handers, and we have a lot of very good starting pitching coming in. Travis, we need you in the bullpen. And he's done a very good job last year. 54 games, 100 innings. And he's in his 42nd game here already.
Hard to believe it. You talked about it yesterday that he is the only left-hander out of the Cubs bullpen. You would just think that as the season progresses and they head toward the postseason that they'll want to get another one down.
Well, we've yet to go through the trading deadline, and we, You know, if you start sizing up teams that are sellers versus those that may be buyers, obviously the Cubs will be buyers if they get into that any trading. And I would imagine left-handers are going to be on their menu.
Billy Hamilton flares one out to right center field. It's not only a single, but it's a speed double for the Red center fielder. That's the second time today that his speed has affected play. He gets himself a two-base hit to start the seventh.
A two-base hit flare over the second baseman's head. Scores on a pass ball from second base.
I mean, easily into second. Baez almost made a terrific play, but when he didn't catch it, Billy with his head up gets his 14th double. Now the Reds are trying to put a little separation between themselves and the Cubs, up by only a run. Votto's had 3 productive plate appearances, a walk, and a sacrifice fly.
Has not really been used as a left-handed only guy. He comes in to sometimes pitch multiple innings. Against left-handers, he's been good, holding him to 150 batting average. But, you know, all year long he's given up only 9 hits to left-handers, but 2 of those have been home runs.
Runner going to third. Easily a stolen base by Billy. That's his 3rd stolen base of this game and his 22nd of the year.
I mean, they're not really holding him on, and I guess if you're the Cubs, you're just happy that David Ross didn't throw this ball by Bryant at third base. I mean, that had the makings of a debacle for the Cubs. So now 2 easy chances to get him in. Votto got a runner in last time up with a sacrifice fly, and they bring the infield in.
Joey, as usual, choking up on that bat. We talked in the past about the fact that he's not had as much success this year against lefties as he has in the past.
Boy, Wood really wanted that one.
Votto this year hitting 193 against lefties, but career-wise came into the year as a 295 hitter against lefties. Down the left field line it goes, off the bat of Votto and into the corner. He'll increase that number here with his run-producing double, and the Reds have themselves a 2-run lead again at 7-5 on an RBI double by Votto. Now 42 runs batted in on the year.
Well, he's driven in 2, and he's scored 1 already. Votto has, and just a little bit of a lay it out there down the left field line.
The Reds have been able to get to Travis Wood. 2nd day in a row.
What's the right tennis terminology for that shot? Votto down the line there.
Served it up. Votto volleyed it down the line. A little half volley.
I thought while we're in the middle of Wimbledon, we'd have a little connection there. I thought you'd come up with something more tennis than that.
I don't know if there is anything more tennis than that. Bryant handles it, and that's the first out of the 7th. Here now is Duvall. Wearing the collar today, 0 for 3, struck out, grounded out, popped up. Reds have never trailed in this game. Led 5-0 after 2.5. Lead 7-5 now here in the 7th. Trying to snap a 5-game losing streak to the Cubs. Trying to defeat them for only the second time this year. Now 3-1.
He keeps trying to come inside of Duvall, and Duvall just doesn't budge. It's a mark of a guy that's seeing the ball real well. You can tell as much about a hitter with the way he takes a pitch than he actually swings at a pitch.
Crack toward the shortstop. Oh, handled on one hop by Addison Russell. I mean, to tell you, that thing had some get up on it. Russell stayed with it, made the play. Votto had to retreat to second.
I'll tell you, that is really the only way Travis Wood's going to get Duvall out in this at bat is having hit it right at him. He is seeing it exceptionally well.
So here now is Phillips trying to pick up the run out of second. Votto, he was there with nobody out. Now he's there with 2 men out. Phillips drove in a run back in the first. He drove in a run here yesterday. As we expected, nothing further going on in the Reds bullpen. So Raisel Iglesias, who did a nice job working around the first 2 reaching in the bottom of the 6th, will go back out there in the bottom of the 7th. An RBI single in the first inning by Phillips now puts him at 818. 9th all time. He's closing in on George Foster for 8th place all time. Surpassed Cowboys guy Veda Pinson there, who was 814. Phillips out, Wood off, back and forth, little cat and mouse action. Hamilton doubled to start the inning and stole third. Votto doubled him home. Stayed there as Bruce popped up and Duvall grounded out. Now this ball into left center field, going to be handled by Jason Hayward. Wood comes back to get the final 3 in the inning, but does give up a run. Is in the Great American Ballpark. Saturday, July the 16th, thanks to PNC Bank, the first 25,000 fans will receive a Zach Cozart bobblehead. Catch all the action when the Reds take on the Milwaukee Brewers. You can do that for only $12. If you'd like tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit Reds.com. Speaking of, Cozart, he has doubled and homered in each of the last 2 games. Did it yesterday, he's done it today. Somebody gets on here in the, if someone gets on in the Reds 8th, Cozart will be up there again. Back to the mound goes Iglesias. Boy, he gets the heart of the order here. Rizzo, Contreras, and Russell. Anybody gets on Hayward. Reds trying to protect a 2-run, 7-5 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Two and 0. He falls behind 3 balls and no strikes. Upset with himself. You can see him berating himself as he goes back to the rubber. It's a high strike. In on him. He hit it a long way, does Anthony Rizzo, but foul, and now a full count. Iglesias has been able to get the best of Rizzo in their career meetings. Rizzo 1 for 10 against Iglesias, that one being a home run. Rizzo aboard. He's now hitting 4 straight, and now the Cubs will bring the tying run to the plate.
Going to sound funny, but that was not a bad comeback by Iglesias. Going down 3-0, coming back, eventually giving up a base hit to Rizzo. The energy of a leadoff base hit, to me, isn't anywhere near as powerful as the energy of a leadoff walk. You might have to be left-handed to understand that.
I think it's a good analogy. I understand what you're saying.
Just something weird about leadoff walks when you're late in the game. Creates a problem, energy-wise.
Contreras is 1 for 3 with a double today.
Well, you do like the way that Iglesias, when he wants to keep the ball down and keeps it down there, boy, he's got great action. It's going to be very tough for Contreras here to lift that ball at all if Iglesias stays down at the knees or below. And you've got a pretty good chance of rolling up a double play ball.
In the short time he has been here, Contreras has hit into 4 double plays. Cubs have action in the bullpen. Pedro Strop is throwing.
We got Jerry Meals in it.
Yeah, looked like it in the shin guard. Under Contreras, onto the leg of Meals.
Jerry Meals will be going to the ice house after this game.
No doubt. Iglesias fell behind Rizzo 3-0. Gets ahead of Contreras 1-2. got him on that slider. Contreras strikes out for the first time. Second strikeout by Iglesias.
Same pitch he got, a swing and a miss from Chris Bryant last inning to end the inning, and the threat by the Cubs. And boy, that is just a very tough pitch for a right-hander to figure out.
So 1 on, 1 out for Addison Russell. He's hit into 5 double plays this year. He's also hit 2 home runs this afternoon. Duvall's going to be there to haul that in. Retreating to first base is Rizzo. Russell taken care of, 2 out. That's Jason Hayward.
Well, I hate to say it, but Hayward, he did pick up a couple of hits yesterday, but including one there in the first inning. Kind of quiet today.
Fouled out, walk, grounded out. 0 for 2 today. There's the comparison between the two. 1 for 13. Head-to-head matchup, Iglesias v. Hayward. Now he falls behind Hayward 2-0. Well, Iglesias, he's engaged out there. I mean, he's mad at himself when he doesn't make the pitch he wants. Berating himself. Takes a deep breath and back to work he goes. Now 3-0. David Ross, his spot is on deck. Miguel Montero has come out and is in the on-deck circle. Four-pitch walk. First issued by Iglesias. Puts Hayward on, sends Rizzo down to second base. And now Montero will bat for Ross as Mac Jenkins makes his second trip to the mound here this afternoon.
Jenkins will bring with him, obviously, a scouting report on Montero. But the other thing you notice is that, you know, he got down 3 balls and no strikes to Rizzo, a left-handed hitter. Really blew through Contreras and Russell, no problem. And then with Hayward up there, issued a bases on ball. So Iglesias doesn't seem to feel as comfortable against the left-handed hitters as the right-handed hitters, and that's probably why Dave Martinez, now the temporary manager today of the Cubs, is going to send up Montero to pinch hit for David Ross.
Montero this year as a pinch hitter is 0 for 4. You see his season numbers. He's hitting just .195. Talked about the fact that Montero has had some very good years in the big leagues. He's a 2-time All-Star back in his Arizona Diamondback days. He had 18 home runs, 86 RBIs in 2011. Followed that up with a 15 home run, 88 RBI season the next year. jammed him and popped him up. This will get the Reds through the 7th as Suarez handles it. And Raisel Iglesias, while he wasn't perfect, throws 2 zeros on the board against the Cubs. It's been an exciting afternoon here in Chicago with the aforementioned play of Billy Hamilton scoring from second. Votto, he's been on 3 times, including a sacrifice fly, and the good work by Raisel Iglesias just turned in.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Even, you know, not perfect, as you said, but zeros on the board. That's what the Reds needed to get them through the 6th and 7th inning. Now the question is, how will they get through the 7th and the 8th, or the 8th and the 9th? But before that happens, the Cubs sent a new pitcher out on the mound, Joel Peralta.
Peralta started the year with Seattle, released by them in early June, signed by the Cubs.
Now, a shot in the dugout shows that Iglesias will probably hit for himself and go back out there one more inning.
No action down in that Reds bullpen. Mentioned earlier that he's gone multiple innings. And now 4 of the 5 times that he has gone to the mound out of the bullpen.
Yeah, I guess just because the Reds are going to use Iglesias out of the bullpen doesn't mean you're going to limit him to 1 inning at a time. I mean, you're just going to have a better handle on how many pitches and how many innings he will throw, when he will throw, how much rest he gets. Because if you're in the rotation, you know, you pitch once every 5 games. And sometimes a guy needs an extra day. And you can't really give a pitcher an extra day in the rotation without, you know, messing up your whole rotation.
Suarez ahead now 3-0 to get things started here in the 8th against Joel Peralta. Miguel Montero, by the way, stays in the game. He's behind the plate. Swinging on the 3-0 pitch and a foul ball. Today for Suarez, a hit, a walk, a ground out. Travis Wood, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 runs. Pardon me, 1 inning, 1 run, 2 hits. Lackey, 6 innings, 6 runs, 6 hits. Suarez, a high fly ball to left.
He may not get this.
In foul ground, and he sure didn't. Contreras, a long way to get to that ball, nearing the fence. A catcher playing the outfield.
And he looked like it.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
Well, you know, he kind of drifted the whole way. The wind is a very soft summer breeze blowing from right to left. And he just kind of drifted, and the ball just kept going in that direction. Now, not that it would be an easy catch for anybody. But you can't hide from that baseball forever.
Suarez new life on a 3-2 pitch. Peralta earlier this year, his numbers with Seattle, 26 games, a 5.40 ERA. For the Cubs in 4 games, a 12. He's given up 5 runs, 5 hits in 3 innings. This is a guy who had a pretty good career with Tampa Bay in the early 2010s. Playable for Hayward. The leadoff man retired. They'll start your weekend off with a bang on Fireworks Fridays at the ballpark. Friday, July the 15th. That's the first day after the All-Star break. You can cheer on the Reds when they start a series against the Milwaukee Brewers, and you can do it for only $12. Plus, you'll get to enjoy on Friday the 15th a post-game fireworks show featuring the Cincinnati Pops, presented by Great American Insurance Group. For tickets, 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com. Speaking of fireworks, you went to the big fireworks show here last night. It came away thinking, as Marty did, the one you see in Cincinnati is better.
The one we see in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark on Friday nights all season long. Each one of those is better than the one they had here for 4th of July. So I'll take that Friday night fireworks at the ballpark anytime.
Rozzie's fireworks pretty darn good.
Yeah, not that they were bad here.
Right.
They're just a tick or two less than what I expected.
And what you're used to. That's right.
Exactly.
Cabrera stays alive with a foul ball. He has a hit today and a run batted in, a double back in the 3rd. And there is indeed, as you mentioned, Chris, Iglesias on deck. Figuring to go back out there for his 3rd inning of work in the 8th. He's thrown 28 pitches through 2 innings. That's not a bad total considering the base runners he's had on. So Cabrera strikes out. 2nd time today. And here now is Iglesias. No bad for himself with 2 men out, nobody on. He's had 10 at-bats this year. He's 0 for 10. Those are those early starts for him this season. He was 2 for 30 last year, so in his career he's 2 hits in 40 at-bats.
He's due.
Who will he face in the bottom of the 8th? The 8th spot, Peralta, so they figured to have a pinch hitter for him. Then Baez, then the top of the order, and Zobrist. Good cut by Iglesias. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 26-year-old, we've talked about him, out of Cuba. Signed a 7-year deal with the Reds. Actually began in 2014. Goes through 2020. Toward right, and he is indeed due, and he gets the base hit. How about that? You're a soothsayer over there. 3rd career hit for Iglesias, puts him on with 2 out.
I don't know about the soothsayer. I just was being optimistic about his chances. It's a pretty good swing.
Yeah. Top of the order now, and Zach Cozart. He's produced a double, 2-run homer today. Now sitting at 13 home runs, 37 runs batted in. home run back in the second is today's Volkswagen drive of the game. He had a 2-run homer yesterday. He hits this one in the second. That made it 4-0 Reds at the time. A Volkswagen drive of the game. Chase that one low and outside, and now he's in the hole, 2 strikes.
Yeah, if you're looking for a fastball against Joel Peralta, you may not get one. He specializes now primarily in, well, he throws his fastball about half the time, but he throws a lot of split finger fastballs, which is a changeup and a curveball.
Hit hard to right, but playable for Zobrist to retire the side. So Iglesias gets a hit, but the Reds are hoping he can turn in a good bottom of the 8th. It's coming up. For the primetime event that will light up the summer. What is it? The MLB All-Star Game from San Diego. Just 1 week from today and only on Fox. Major League All-Star Game out in San Diego this year after being in Cincinnati last year. We'll know a little bit later on tonight who the All-Stars are, and there'll be some jockeying after tonight, what with pitchers and when they're going to throw and injuries and other team members being named. We'll know a little bit later on tonight who will represent the Reds. Bruce, Cozart, Duvall. Who will be out there out in San Diego? Matt Caesar leads off pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Joel Peralta, who went 1 inning. Caesar on the year hitting .273. 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Their busiest pinch hitter by far. He has 7 hits, 23 at-bats in this role. him get into the game yesterday after Chris Bryant had that little collision out in left field with Albert Almora. He had 2 plate appearances, lined out, drew a walk. And now he's at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one caught Cabrera. Javier Baez next, then the top of the order featuring Ben Zobrist. Moved him off the plate. It didn't quite come back enough, and now a full count. Suarez flags it down and spins and fires to get Caesar at first base. Hit hard by the pinch hitter, but handled by Eugenio Suarez.
Well, Eugenio makes a nice play on this. Couple of steps, reaches, sets himself and throws.
First time in 3 innings that Iglesias has been able to retire the leadoff man.
It's going to be a little while, I think, for Suarez to kind of get up to speed where he would hope to be defensively playing third base. It's just a different spot and plays very differently if you talk to enough of those players who played both positions. He had a little bit of a step back yesterday defensively, but he's made a nice play here today.
Of course, that's the primary position of Nick Senzel, who was the #1 pick out of Tennessee by the Reds in the recent first-year player draft, who started at Billings. He's now at Dayton. In fact, our guy Jim Day has an update on one Nick Senzel. Jim, what do you have?
He's played 3 games at Dayton and had a really good night last night, 3 for 5. So far, 6 for 14, a .429 clip in those 3 games. He scored 5 runs and 4 doubles and a stolen base. So a good start at low A Dayton.
Hey, you talk to people who say he could play defense in the big leagues right now. It's just a matter of getting his offensive game going at the professional level. There's those who say he's the best hitter, and in fact, there's a fellow that you know of up here in the booth prior to the game.
Yeah, Nick Belmonte, who actually works for the Cubs as a scout, also does some broadcasting for Fox and then for ESPN during the college baseball season. Saw Senzel quite a bit, and said of all the players that he saw, and he did all the SEC games and a lot of the ACC tournaments, we see a lot of very good college baseball, said that he was the best college hitter that he saw. So that's a good thing to hear from somebody who has no skin in the game.
Got it. Nice pitch by Iglesias, who gets the pinch hitter Caesar on the ground ball, gets Baez swinging. Seems to be saving his best for last.
Well, it's such a good spot right there. Baez is just home run happy right now. Addison Russell the same way, and he's just going to let it rip. And you know that's been the knock on Baez. He's going to strike out a lot, but boy, you lay a cookie up there, you hit it a long way.
So here now is Zobrist with 2 men out and nobody on. Reds have a 2-run lead at 7-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. Tony Cingrani had been throwing. He appears as if he would be the man in the 9th. He's not throwing now, but he was up tossing earlier. Reds have a chance in the 9th to add to that lead. Pedro Strop is up in the Cubs bullpen. He'll figure to pitch the 9th inning. Zobrist 0 for 4 today. In the air and playable. Hamilton gets to the spot. Inning over, and a very nice 3 innings worth of work out of the Reds bullpen for Raisel Iglesias here this afternoon.
Last series before the All-Star break, where the Reds take on the Marlins in South Florida. Reds Live begins the night at 6:30. Swing into summer on Fox Sports Ohio is presented by Miller Lite. I'm Jim Day. Anthony DeSclafani will close out the series tomorrow here in Chicago. Reds have an off day on Thursday, and right now they have TBAs listed as their pitchers for that Marlins series. Brian Price says they're still trying to decide. One, they want to figure out who they want to get the most rest coming out of the All-Star break, how they want to line them up out of the All-Star break, and that off day on Thursday gives them the luxury to do that. And he's also said with those lefties back to back to back in Lamb, Reed, and Finnegan, he wants to break those guys up. So right now, up in the air, who's going to start in what order coming up in Miami.
All right, thank you, Jim. We do know that we'll see Jose Fernandez. We don't know which game, although we think it's Friday. Fernandez, who is like incredibly good at home, will be pitching in one of those games down there. I mean, I think he had 1 loss last year, and maybe he has only 2 in his career at home. Billy Hamilton been a big part of this game. 3 stolen bases, 2 hits, a walk, scored from second on a pass ball back in the first. He is up there to lead things off. Right back to the mound on that bunt. Out number 1.
37 games for Pedro Strop, one of the better setup men that you'll find in the National League. And every time you look at his pedigree and how he arrived as a Chicago Cub, you just scratch your head even more. He came over with Jake Arrieta to the Cubs in exchange for Steve Clevenger and Scott Feldman. And I'm sure that the Orioles are still scratching their head on a deal that went down on July the 2nd, 2013.
Votto, a productive day today. Couple of walks, sac fly, RBI double. Yeah, I just looked it up. Here's the number on Jose Fernandez at home. 24-1 in 35 starts at home down at Marlins Park with a 1.48 ERA.
It sounds like a typo.
It does. You're right. It sure does. 24-1. He lost that game this year. Look at that. He lost at home in his first start of the season on 4-6, April 6th against Detroit, 7-3. the only loss he has endured at Marlins Park in his career. Check swing and ball 4. So 3 walks this afternoon for Joey Votto.
And when he did swing the bat, he made the most of it. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly and another with a double. So Votto is not just coming on, but coming on strong.
Well, the batter will be Jay Bruce. 6 walks issued now by Cubs pitching today. Bruce has drawn one of them. He walked back in the first. That's when Lackey walked 3 Reds in inning number 1. Deep to left field, near the wall, gone. Opposite field home run for Jay Bruce, his 18th of the year, putting him now at 62 RBIs. Second home run of the day by the Reds. And they increase their margin to 4. They now lead it 9-5 here in the 9th.
Big swing right here for the Reds and for Jay Bruce. I mean, it's just a little pitch that's kind of going away from him right there. Wasn't sure when he got it that he got it enough. A little help with the wind blowing out the left field and just on top of the green line on the wall.
Certainly good to see from Jay. We mentioned he'd been 3 for his last 22 coming in, 3 for his last 25 until that home run ball.
Sends a few of them heading to the exits.
Yeah. Big crowd today of 41,310. A little bit larger than the 4th of July crowd yesterday. Now becomes a non-save situation for the warming up Tony Cingrani down the right field line. Duvall had requested time, but he did not get it from home plate umpire Jerry Meals. So a pop-up bunt by Hamilton, a walk to Votto, and a 2-run opposite field home run by Jay Bruce, and a 9-5 Reds lead here in the 9th. Down 0-2, Duvall draws a walk. Second of the inning. Here comes Phillips. Red starter Brandon Finnegan, 5 innings, 5 runs, 5 hits. Raisel Iglesias, 3 innings. His longest relief outing in the big leagues. His last time out against the Nationals, he had gone 2 1/3, and that was his longest. This time he goes 3. No runs, 2 hits. He has really done to that bullpen what everyone hoped he would do, and that's helped solidify things down there. Phillips 1 for 4 today. Iglesias not in line to be the winner. But boy, I tell you what a hole. I mean, that's the hold stat you hear and see. What a great job by Iglesias today.
Yeah, when you get a hold for 3 innings, that's way different than a hold for 1 inning.
Oh, yeah. Those 2 guys in that picture, 2 key ingredients to this game here today. Hamilton, 3 stolen bases, including scoring from second on the pass ball in the first. Iglesias, 3 innings of shutout relief. Phillips strikes out, and here's Suarez. Cubs in the 9th will have Bryant, Rizzo, Contreras, and even though it's a non-save situation, they are, of course, very capable. Two-run homer by Bruce has given the Reds a little bit of a margin here in the top of the 9th. To Russell. Inning over. Jay Bruce, number 18, has given the Reds a 4-run cushion as we head to the bottom of the 9th at Wrigley Field. Cincinnati Reds baseball on Fox Sports Ohio has been brought to you by Kroger. Stop by your neighborhood Kroger to save big store-wide. Great food, low prices at Kroger. And by Toyota. For over 30 offers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. We've been singing the praises of one right-hander, Raisel Iglesias. Great job he did over 3 innings.
Well, he really did. He had some trouble the first couple of innings. In fact, he had a couple of runners on in the 6th, and then another couple of runners on, one by a hit and one by a walk in the 7th. But a 1-2-3-8 gives way now to Tony Cingrani. So the Reds are trying to piece together a bullpen that will support the nice offensive outpouring that the offense had given him here this afternoon.
And that falls on the shoulders of Cingrani right here.
Yeah, you say that it's not a save situation. Technically, it's not, but I would call this for Cingrani a savior spot in the bullpen situation. Because even though he has been called on to do the saves and opportunities, he's got 9 of them. That is no way set in stone.
No.
And you know, you just want to continue to get better and continue to show the manager that you're the man that wants to get called on to close out a ball game in which you're winning.
Well, we mentioned when Iglesias was in there that he has come out and said, I'd like to be the closer. We know that everybody has talked about Lorenzen ultimately being a closer. And this is the guy, Cingrani, right now, who is filling that role with his team. Backhand pick and throw. And a good job to get the leadoff man by Cingrani with help from Suarez and Votto. 1 out. Remember now, Fox Sports Ohio has another spectacular ticket offer for you to catch a Reds game right after the All-Star break. View level tickets are just $10 for July 15th and 16th against the Brewers, and that includes a Get Your Stash On hat. Go to Reds.com/FSOHIO, Reds.com/FSOHIO. Use the code FSOHIO to get your tickets now. The offer is good only until the end of today's post-game show. Rizzo today 1 for 3 with a walk. Those games against the Brewers, by the way, Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th. Both games start at 7:10. Red shift Rizzo, but not the big shift. Cozart cheats up the middle. Way off the bag at third is Suarez. Fly ball. Hamilton calling and catching. And so Rizzo retired. 2 men down. Reds looking for one last out, the 27th of this game, and they hope it's Wilson Contreras who walks to the plate now. And we said at the top, maybe today is the day that they could snap this losing streak against Chicago, and here they are not away from doing it. Wouldn't this be a nice birthday present for Tony Cingrani, celebrating number 27 here today, if he can shut things down in his hometown of Chicago, albeit from the south side.
I'm sure he's got a bunch of Southsiders up here supporting him. One of the all-time funniest interviews we ever saw was Jim Day interviewing his dad, who said, "I wouldn't be in this joint if my son wasn't pitching here." A true Southsider.
Looking for that final out here on this Tuesday afternoon, July the 5th. Contreras today 1 for 4, a double back in the second. Reds have never trailed. Led 2-0 after 1, 4-0 after 2, 5-0 after 2.5. And have been able to withstand a couple of barrages by the Cubs. Full count now to Contreras. Addison Russell on deck. Suarez cuts it off, spins, fires, got it. Reds win. The losing streak against the Cubs ends at 5 as Tony Cingrani on his birthday, with the help from Jay Bruce in the 9th, win it by the final score of 9-5 here at Wrigley Field this afternoon. So this series is now 1 game apiece, And the rubber game comes up here tomorrow afternoon at 2:20 Eastern time. Pretty good all-around effort today by the Red Legs.
Well, it really was. I mean, when you get the kind of run support that Flanagan got today, with the Reds scoring 3 in the first inning, or 2 in the first inning, and a couple more in the second, then you want to be able to get out there and hold them. And he did a pretty good job of that, even though he gave up some home runs. And it was a fun game. Anytime you beat the Cubs here in Chicago and you don't have to hear that celebratory song, "Go Cubs Go," it's a good day for a Reds fan.
Bruce, number 18. Victory for Brandon Finnegan, number 4. They hang the loss on John Lackey. And the Reds are triumphant here. 9-5, the final score. Stay with us now. The Reds Live post-game show right around the corner.